Welcome to the Horror Unmasked podcast,
where we unmask the monsters and explore the lore. I'm Amber.
And I'm Lily, and today we will be dissecting
The Sixth Sense.
Let's See Dead People.
A man named Malcolm celebrates with his wife, Anna, for an award he received on his work in child psychology. When the couple goes upstairs, Anna notices that the window is broken. And then Malcolm discovers a man named Vincent in their bathroom.
Weird.
Yeah. Vincent claims that he was Malcolm's former patient.
What was weird about it is that this man was just fully undressed.
Yeah, he was he was in boxers and that's about it.
Like, he took off all his clothes and it was just
sitting there, hanging out, waiting. I don't know how long he'd been there.
Nope.
But he's waiting.
Because clearly they didn't hear anybody break the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
That he was Malcolm's former patient and that he failed to help him, resulting in him shooting Malcolm, then himself. Almost a year later, Malcolm begins to work with a kid named Cole, who reminds him a lot of Vincent. One night, Malcolm gets held up with Cole, showing up very late to his dinner with his wife on their anniversary. Seemingly because of Malcolm's work, Anna has become very distant and depressed.
Surprisingly, because, he's a loner, Cole gets invited to a birthday party where he seems to be having fun until he starts to hear a voice coming from upstairs. Cole stares in terror at a cupboard where the voice gets louder. Then two boys push him in and lock him inside.
Still fucked up, regardless of whether or not you're hearing voices and shit.
Yeah, fuck those kids. So it was already shitty that they pushed him inside a cupboard and locked him in there, but it's the fact that Cole knows that there's something in there.
But also it's the idea that it's the same kid that he's been quote quote hiring to come pick him up from his house so his mom thinks he has friends.
Yep.
Which
sad.
Is also just depressing.
So sad. Cole's mother, Lynn, hears screaming from downstairs and rescues Cole, finding cuts and scrapes on him after pulling him out.
Which is even more terrifying.
Yeah. Lynn takes Cole to the hospital, where they accuse her of abusing her child.
Always. That's always the fucking excuse.
Malcolm comes to visit Cole, who finally tells him his secret. That he sees dead people. Later, Malcolm tells Cole he can't work with him anymore, as he needs to focus on fixing his relationship with his wife.
That is the most heartbreaking scene.
Yeah, because Cole's just sitting there crying
he really doesn't want him to leave him.
Yeah.
It's depresso, espresso.
Yep.
Spoiler warning. Skip ahead. Going through old files, Malcolm comes across an old tape of a meeting with Vincent, where he hears a voice pleading in Spanish, making Malcolm realize that Cole was telling the truth and that Vincent may have had the same gift. Malcolm, it's just for real. Malcolm goes back to Cole to apologize and suggest to him that maybe he could use his abilities to help the spirits that come to him.
Brilliant.
For real. More people need to do that. There's so many people who have gone into asylums because they can hear spirits.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is just gone crazy because they don't know what to do with it and they're just scared because they don't understand. And spirits aren't it's not to say that spirits always come to you in their decrepit, terrible state.
Right.
Because the truth of the matter is for the most part, you kind of get to pick how you want to look post the other side. Some people who died older will choose to look younger. I mean, it has to be pretty crazy traumatic for you to still look the way you did when you died. But it's one of those situations where it's like, usually it's, this side of it is more played up for movies.
Yeah, like it's always how they died.
Yeah.
That's what they look like.
Yeah. Late one night, another ghost named Kira visits Cole.
And let me just say, this is not the first encounter he's had with ghosts.
No.
Like, throughout this whole movie,
He's
been,
seeing them.
He's seeing them everywhere.
Everywhere. He's seeing them or hearing them. But this is the first time he's, with intention, actively going towards and interacting with them on purpose.
Yeah.
Hesitating at first, Cole hides in his tent filled with Jesus statues for protection.
Period.
For real. When he finally decides to communicate with her, Cole discovers that her funeral reception was happening at her house, and he goes with Malcolm to see what he can do. Kira leads Cole to a specific videotape, which he ends up giving to Kira's father. This tape is fucking fucked up.
Very. Because she's just playing with her little puppets, and then never mind. Hold on.
Well, it's yeah, because you also have to understand that the sister is also starting to become sick.
Mm-hmm.
The younger sister is starting to also become sick.
Yeah.
So,
gathered around the TV, Kira's father watches the videotape along with other people who were there for her funeral, where he discovers that Kira's stepmother had been poisoning her food.
fucked up. Totally fucked up.
Totally fucked up. Kira's father confronts his wife, saving his younger daughter from dying in the same way.
Yeah. Because she started... That's so fucked up. Like, there's a part of me that just wants to know...
you married this man and you hated his kids, so you're like, let me get that out of the way and then I can be with him and he can have all his focus on me. That's so entitled, that's so jealous.
Was that the reason, or could it also have been, well, these aren't my kids, therefore I'm going to get rid of them I can replace them.
Yeah, she's like, I have no connection to them. He spends, like, obviously he's a father, so he's going to spend time taking care of them. So I'm kind of in the back burner with kids who aren't even mine. So I'd rather have my own with this guy.
I'd rather have my own children because then we'll be seen equally. I think that's fucking psychotic.
Also, because it was that she was getting attention from her stepchildren dying.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Absolutely fucked up.
Now, knowing he doesn't have to be afraid of his gift, Cole begins to do better in school, making more friends and even landing the lead in the school play.
Yee.
Cole thanks Malcolm for everything he has done for him and even suggests that he talk to his wife while she sleeps to see if that can help mend things so that he can get things off of his chest.
Yeah.
And, Later, Cole ends up sitting in traffic with his mom due to an accident up ahead. Lynn wonders if anyone got hurt, to which Cole responded that a lady riding her bike was hit and died.
Mm-hmm. Cole decides to tell his mom that he could see her standing outside his window. Lynn is skeptical until Cole tells her that the answer to the question she asked her dead mother was that she was always proud of her.
Such a fucking sweet moment. And
For real.
I cry every time.
Because the scene kind of plays out like you used to ask a question to grandma.
To grandma.
And her response is always.
Yeah.
What question was it that you asked?
Yeah, and it was, are you proud of me?
Yeah.
And she was just like, always.
It was very
always
sweet.
proud of you.
Very sweet.
Yeah. Because she, like, the lady on the bike dies up ahead, and Cole's like, yeah, she's
standing
dead.
outside my window.
She's standing outside my window, and she's like, well, how can you see the accident? And he's like, no, she's right there. That's how I know when there's no one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both cry as Lynn accepts Cole's ability to see the dead, which honestly also heavy applause to mom. Like,
Yeah.
thank you for believing in your child.
Also, Toni Collette is so fine.
Always, every time.
So fine. Good mother, great mother.
Yeah.
Very fine.
Every time. Malcolm goes home to find his wife on the couch, re-watching their wedding video, asking herself why he left her. Anna drops Malcolm's wedding ring on the floor when he realizes that it's not on his finger. Malcolm looks down to see his gunshot wound from Vincent and that he has been dead this entire time. Remembering that Cole told him that dead people only see what they want to. Malcolm tells his wife that she never came second to anything in his life and that he loves her.
Not even his work with children.
Anna finally relaxes, if I could English, knowing that she can move on as Malcolm disappears into the light. The end. Yeah, this is a very good movie. It's a
so
very
good.
very sweet movie.
Yeah.
It was released August 6, 1999.
Mm-hmm.
The director is M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalan. The man of Twisty Twists.
Yep.
It was distributed by Hollywood Pictures, Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, which is fucking shocking. I have their box office. What was their budget?
Their budget was $40 million. So
Their
pretty
box
high.
office
was fucking out of the water.
I actually think this is the highest,
Yes.
which is $672.8 million. This movie blew the motherfucking up.
Yeah.
This is the highest box office that we've gotten so far during the course of all the movies that we have done.
Yeah, which was so shocking to me. I literally was like,
Yeah.
You said, huh?
Freaking intense.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Like,
Yes.
86% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And I do agree with the sentiment that you said when we were initially watching this movie. If
What
you
did I say?
know the spoiler,
Oh.
if you know the sentiment of what it is, then you view the movie very differently.
Very differently. Like, it's so fun to watch it for the first time. Like, and then, like, okay, because I watched this movie when I was, like, 8 or something. So the movie had only been out for, like, a decade. And so I was very young. 8, maybe a little older than that. But
Yeah.
obviously, as a child, like, this movie was so shocking to me because I wasn't picking up on any of the clues or what the plot twist might have been. So when I watched it and I found out, like, it was the biggest reveal of cinema that my little brain had ever had, and then going back later and rewatching it with the understanding of what the plot twist was.
Like, you get it.
Yeah.
When you know that he's dead the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, literally the only time he's alive is in the very beginning. The second he gets shot, everything after that, he's dead. But it's wild because you realize that, like, when because all of his files and everything are downstairs in his office in like a basement kind of thing. Well, throughout the movie, he goes to this door and it's always locked.
Yeah.
Every time he goes to it, it's locked.
They make it look like he's, like, grabbing for his key or something.
Yeah.
But at the end of the movie, like, when he realizes that
he's just, like,
dead,
he's just passing through it.
Not even, like, it's literally, like, there's a table in front of the door.
Like he isn't
Like,
even registering that there's been a table blocking it the whole time.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because, like, when you find out the plot twist, immediately your brain's like, nah, there's no way. There's no, like, literally there's no way.
And then you go back and you watch the
and you're like,
anniversary table scene of her not interacting with him.
He never spoke to literally anyone else other than Cole. And even that's, like, with Lynn, because there are moments when, like,
you
Malcolm
think that
and
maybe
you think that Malcolm and Lynn maybe had a couple conversations, but they never speak.
No, he's just been sitting in there waiting.
Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting kind of how all of that worked out.
It's an hour and 47 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kill count is obviously
1.
2.
Oh, 2. Apologies.
Because Vincent kills himself and then,
Yes.
well, kills
Yes.
Malcolm and then himself.
Yes.
So,
2 have
2
died.
kill count.
Yes, 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 yes.
So, for our cast, we have Haley Joel Osment as Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bruce Willis as
Yee.
Malcolm. Toni Collette as Lynn, which I will say when I was looking up the cast,
Yeah.
the media is very intrigued with Toni Collette as a 50-year-old in a bathing suit. There's just so many images of that when you like look her up.
That's always how it works.
And it's like what it's like headshot bathing suit, headshot bathing suit, headshot bathing suit. It's like what?
That's how people are.
Okay. We have Donnie Wahlberg as Vincent,
Yep.
which I had no idea. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Misha? I'm gonna say Misha. Misha Barton as Kira and Olivia Williams as Anna.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Alrighty, now hit me with some facts.
Alrighty. I shall. So this is obviously not a heavily special effects film.
What do you mean?
Tis not, because
Yeah.
it is mainly story driven,
Mm-hmm.
and because if it had too many special effects stuff, it would give away a lot of the story.
Yeah.
So,
I will say,
the only special effects stuff tends to come with the ghost side. The ghosts that Cole and Malcolm doesn't realize he is. So, which is wild to think. But I also understand as Cole explains that ghosts can't see each other,
right.
which is fucking wild also.
Yeah.
That you're kind of in your own universe by yourself.
That's so sad. That's
Which
so
sucks.
lonely. At the same time, obviously you said there's not a whole lot of effects in this one, and that's because it is more like story driven.
Yeah.
And that pisses people off. And I don't understand why. Because it's like they're upset that it's labeled as like a horror movie.
Because it is.
But it's like more
It's
suspenseful
psychological yeah.
horror. And it's not like that scary, but it still has those elements to it. Like anything.
People put Ghostbusters in that same fucking
literally
level, and Ghostbusters is not scary.
Hello, there's literally been houses at HHN.
Yeah.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
For Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
One being literally this year.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. So a lot of this film has more to do with the framing, lighting, and some makeup of the spirits.
Yeah.
So basically that's and the ghosts aren't shown very often either.
No. There was only maybe like 6 ghosts, 7 ghosts total.
So Shyamalan used a editing and visual effect called the Kuleshov effect in the editing room, because it manages to take the mundane in a small town in Pennsylvania and somehow make it eerie and transcendent.
Yep.
So, but specifically cuts from characters' faces to an empty space in a room or an inanimate object in the room. So the sometimes off-center framing in scenes where Cole sees the spirits are haunting. Everything seems symmetrical and organized, and then M. Night will throw in a spirit to offset all of the comforts you can find within the shot. So he kind of sets it up where it's like it feels like a comfortable standard shot, and then he throws something that is unsettling into the mix.
You're making me want to
throw
watch
you off.
The Watchers more and more. It's coming to a streaming platform, isn't it?
I believe so.
I don't remember which one, but
I think that's on my list of films to watch.
Yeah,
is
for
The Watchers. Yeah. So the composition is obviously crucial within this particular world, but so is the use of color. So more specifically, one color. The Sixth Sense cherry picks when it decides to traverse its audience into the realm of the supernatural. So while you would normally assume it would be with a simple cut, camera move, or musical cue, the Sixth Sense does this by introducing us to the color red. Whenever
I thought you were going to say green.
No. Whenever there is a moment in the film where you're about to witness something supernatural, the color red organically appears somewhere in the world. So whether it is an article of clothing or the color of a sign or even perhaps a red balloon, red is not only one of the most striking colors to the human eye, but symbolically it can represent a lot of different things: love, hate, malice, passion, etc. So in The Sixth Sense, red is meant to represent the passage from the natural world into the supernatural world. So whenever Cole or we as the audience witness something supernatural, red appears in the scene. So it's obviously highly cinematic and adds a lot to what is already a wonderfully constructed screenplay. Because the doorknob to his office downstairs, it's always locked, is red. Once you now know that red is your indicator that something ghostly is about to happen.
Gotcha.
You now know, like, oh, okay, we're about to see a ghost appear. And it could be anywhere in the scene. Something red could appear right before you see the ghosts.
Weird.
So
I wonder if
that's very
that's
fascinating.
something that Cole picks up on too.
Possibly. Yeah, I would think so. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, because it's like,
You have to also think, okay, is there a scene in the end when the mother and him are talking and then the ghost appears? Is there something red
I think it was
that we
her helmet.
missed? You know, like, it's fascinating. Just the idea that that's
remember.
a part of it, you know? And then, so some other interesting things. So this was the first of 2 movies that Bruce Willis owed Disney. Oh. After he shut down another production, the Broadway Brawler. Tales of, which is wild to hear this. So apparently Bruce Willis was difficult in nature as an actor. And there are legends in Hollywood such as his drama with Kevin Smith. However, according to IMDb, on the set of the Broadway Brawler, he ended the movie for good after firing the director.
How do you as an actor,
Yeah.
fire the director?
So, yeah, it was very weird. So,
Entitled?
yeah.
What?
So as part of his Disney contract, he was signed on to The Sixth Sense and another less successful movie in the 2000s called The Kid. But another thing Willis had to sacrifice, along with his freedom to choose projects, was his usual salary. He was paid a measly $10 million for The Sixth Sense.
Measly. Pardon?
Half of his usual salary at the time.
Oh, way.
So it's kind of funny that one of Bruce Willis's most iconic roles, some say his defining role, only came due to a contract dispute. I would feel like Sixth Sense, and there's like 3 movies that I can think of off the top of my head that I would say are like the Bruce Willis movies.
He was also in the show Moonlighting.
Well, no, I'm talking about movies. I'm talking about like things that like solidified him as like the
actor.
guy.
Yeah, okay.
And that's Sixth Sense, Fifth Element, and
If you say fourth something, I'm gonna lose my mind.
No, my brain is spacing. It's his, like, everybody calls it a Christmas movie. It's the fucking
Oh, Die
Hard. Yes.
Hard.
Oh my God, my brain was like, what the fuck is that movie? It just wouldn't. I could see the scenes, but my brain could not come up with the name.
I don't know how I got it because I've
But
never
yeah,
seen The
I would
Fifth
say
Element or Die Hard.
Die
so.
Hard, Fifth Element, and Sixth Sense are definitely, for me at least, like the Bruce Willis movies.
Yeah.
And you should really watch Fifth Element. You would really like it.
Yeah, I
really
believe
do
that.
think you would.
There's a list and a plethora of movies that I need to watch.
Yeah, there's a big old list.
We all know. Okay.
Oh yeah. So, okay. While most of the original script in The Sixth Sense made it to film, one scene in particular was deemed too horrific to be in the movie.
What?
Yeah.
Well, what was it?
So, the cut scene involves Osment looking out the window to see a hospital full of horribly disfigured and mutilated people.
Damn. Who can't see each other.
Yeah. Most likely it was cut to ensure a PG-13 rating, and so it could be more widely available to audiences. This may have been for the best, as it proves that Sixth Sense does not need to rely on gore to genuinely scare audiences. Instead, The Sixth Sense is an intelligent psychological drama which manages to chill an audience to the bone without a whole lot of blood.
It didn't really do that to me.
But you know what I mean.
But that's also because I'm so desensitized to things like that. Okay, I won't say so. Things still freak me out, but not this movie.
Because M. Night Shyamalan shows that restraint in horror is sometimes scarier than showing the audience the horror itself.
Oh, like everyone talking about fucking Texas Chainsaw. They're like, they don't really show a whole lot, but that's what makes it even scarier. And I'm like, you're wrong. That movie is not scary in the slightest, in my personal opinion. I think it's more funny than anything else, to be honest.
But yeah. So that's all my notes. Not a whole lot, like I said.
Yeah, that was very short. I don't have a whole lot either. It's just mainly like, all right, so for The Sixth Sense, M. Night Shyamalan he said that the movie was almost a serial killer film inspired by Silence of the Lambs. Okay, so in the original draft, Bruce Willis's character was a crime photographer instead of a therapist.
Gotcha.
With a son who experienced visions of the victims.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would have also been an absolutely amazing and interesting film.
Yeah, I think so. I think he should still kind of write something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. But many drafts later, Shyamalan said that the script morphed into what we know today.
Yeah.
Like the psychological drama with the huge twist at the end.
Yeah.
That, you know,
became iconic.
So iconic. He also said that he and a friend, he came up with the idea because he and a friend were improvising in a park, just kind of like improvising, doing their thing.
Yeah.
A few days before filming. And then he realized that Vincent probably wouldn't know if his friend was a real person or a ghost.
Yeah.
So that's why he was like all fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Osment said that the cast knew that the script was something really special. And then they ended up being right because The Sixth Sense earned 6 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actress for Toni Collette, period.
Yep.
And Best Supporting Actor for Osment.
Yeah.
As well. So when Osment came in and read, Shyamalan said he knew that was the kid the second that he read. And once he knew he had Osment, he knew he had seen Muriel's Wedding, which Toni Collette played in. But when she came in to read, her head was shaved.
Oh, shit.
And he didn't know if it was like for fun or for a movie she did. I'm pretty sure it was for a movie she did.
Yeah.
But she did a great job in the reading, but he didn't want to show the video to the studio because he was afraid that they would be concerned with her appearance. So he literally was just like, he went to his team and was like, I want to cast the woman from Muriel's Wedding. And then Bruce Willis backed him up and was like, oh, I love Muriel's Wedding. So they got it without the studio seeing the audition.
Yeah.
They got her in, which is incredible because she then went and got the Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
So, in Sixth Sense, she's actually wearing a wig throughout the entire thing.
I think it's absolutely wild that that would even be a problem.
Right?
Like, who cares what she looks like?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, her acting skills is what matters.
Yeah.
You can put... Everyone could be shaved. You can put a fucking wig on it. Chill
Right.
out.
Literally. And she looks stunning. Stunning. Like, she popped up on the screen, because I hadn't seen this movie in a very, very long time, obviously, since, like, one of the first times I watched it. And so, now really knowing who Toni Collette is, like, watching it again, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's Miss Collette. She's fucking beautiful in this. Like, are you kidding me? What is going on?
Yeah.
And she had the little accent going on, and her her little fur coats, and
Oh, yeah.
and was just a really good mom. Like, no one can doubt that at all. She loved her baby. And then obviously there's Donnie Wahlberg for casting. They said he was kind of a lightning bolt for them. But again, Donnie, like Osment, brought a really serious commitment to his role. And even though it was one scene, he really, really lived in it.
Yeah.
He lost so much weight and didn't bathe.
Oh.
Yeah, and he really went for it. So,
yeah.
Didn't bathe, lost a lot of weight, like, really to put himself in that role, which was crazy.
Go for it, man.
But that was, like, a little bit of more background info on the actors and things. As for the Sixth Sense itself.
Yeah.
The first mentioned term was in 1712 in William Whitson's Primitive Christianity Revived, Volume 5. It says, Then said Peter, that is false, for there is a sixth sense, that of prescience. For the other five senses are capable only of knowledge, but the sixth of foreknowledge, which since the prophets had. I don't really know, but apparently that's when it was first ever mentioned.
Yeah. Like a spiritual version of the gut feeling.
Yeah, just over 300 years ago is when that term was actually used.
Okay.
For the first time, or was written down, noted for the first time. Then back in the 1930s, there was a botanist from Duke University named J.B. Rhine, and basically he did a bunch of research on psychic abilities such as intuition, telepathy, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and just a whole bunch of other stuff like precognition, retrocognition, which allowed him to coin the term extrasensory perception, which is also known as a sixth sense.
Yeah.
Or how do you even say this?
Just try it.
Cryptesthesia.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. So basically, he had over 90,000 experiments using a deck of cards called Zener cards. So they each had 5 symbols on it, and each subject was asked to guess which symbol was on a chosen card.
This is that shit that's like the star, the wavy lines, the square, the triangle, the blah, blah, blah. That shit. It's those cards.
Yeah.
That's the cards that you're thinking. That's what these cards are. These are shown in video games, movies, TVs, all the fucking time. Every time there's someone who's got some kind of ability of some kind, you're always going to see this.
Yep. So with these cards, the card was in another room. So in an attempt to demonstrate the ability to perceive the information beyond the normal senses,
Yeah.
his most well-known experiments involve subjects like Hubert Pierce, who consistently achieved results statistically above chance. But his findings are very highly controversial because there was a lot of difficulty in replicating the experiment.
Yeah.
And there was a lack of widespread acceptance within the scientific community. So
Well, yeah, that's about standard.
Yeah. So obviously people were concerned about cheating and other studies not also having consistent results.
Yeah.
But a sixth sense is also known as like second sight. So, which is an alleged form of extrasensory perception where a person perceives information in the form of a vision about future events before they happen.
Yeah.
So precognition, or about things or events at remote locations. There's no evidence that second sight exists. Just like,
yeah. There have been people who have done tests and studies on people who are spiritual and all that kind of stuff. So, some people are trying to, but it's still in the same place that it's been for a long time.
And the only reports of second sight are from like people's stories.
Yeah.
Coming from other people. There's no like actual scientific evidence that it does exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So second sight and extrasensory perception are all pseudosciences.
Yep.
So, people have tried to research, can't really get it out there just because of so many skeptics and people believing that things can be swayed or people can cheat on things. And so, and that's why there are so many skeptics. I feel like, obviously, if you go looking for something, you're probably going to find it.
Without question.
You know how the spirit realm is.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many people like on the internet who go ghost hunting and try to prove that things are real.
Yeah.
Things on the internet have huge potential to just be edited.
Yeah.
And faked. And so you can't really confirm whether or not those things are real. Put validity to it unless you yourself are going out and things happen to you that can't be explained in any other way.
Yeah.
Which is why I want to go ghost hunting so bad, because I'm a healthy skeptic.
Yeah.
I'm a healthy skeptic. And we've talked about it before about, I believe there's something there, but I won't ever truly 100% believe unless I see it for myself. Yeah.
Unedited proof. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. But yeah, that's all I got.
So you got 1 stars?
I just 1.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. This isn't such a good film. I think one of the reasons it has achieved such popularity is because critics everywhere decided to write it as being brilliant.
That's not how that works, but okay.
Viewers think they should love it, so they agree to. I can remember sitting in a theater several months ago and being very disappointed in this film. The Blair Witch Project did a lot for me. Willis does not do all that great of a job in it.
Those are such 2 drastically different films.
Yeah.
You can't compare them.
Also, I like how he's kind of gaslighting.
Yeah.
Viewers think they should love it, so they agree to.
Yeah.
Okay. The kid, his name fails me, does a good job. The script was okay. The directing was actually poor. I won't give away the end for the 2 or 3 people who have yet to see it, but I will say that the director gives it away by the end of the 2nd act.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that
kind of how that works?
Anyway, when I went to see it, I knew how it would end with about a half hour left. This disappointed me. The thing was blocked poorly, and the camera could have been used more effectively to keep the viewer in the dark.
I'm sorry, so the last 30 minutes is when you finally figured it out? You mean when
you're supposed to?
Sometimes people are fucking wild.
The thing felt like it was shot before it was really fully conceptualized. I don't think so. There were multiple multiple drafts
Yeah.
of the script.
Yeah.
Also, there were many moments where I found myself wanting the film to be more graphic and frightening than it was. See where I was talking about?
Yeah.
Because people classify horror films as being like bloody, gory, gross,
No,
nasty,
that's a very specific
jump
group
scares
of
horror
films.
I get the feeling they were aiming to get the PG-13 from start to finish. This hurt the film. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but disappointing nonetheless. Then why is it a 1 star, bro? Then why'd you put it there? Out of 10.
Because that's how people are. They want to bitch and complain about comparing things that aren't supposed to be compared the way that they are.
Yeah. Even without it being so gory, like, it's still beautiful and it's still a really good film. And
it still has its unsettling moments and everything like that. But it's, you know, it's supposed to be a different type of... It's not horror in regards to, like, Friday the 13th. They're different films.
Yeah.
Even trying to compare it to Blair Witch is a very inaccurate comparison because of how truly visually and story-based different it is. Like, those can't be compared.
No.
So, yeah.
Not at all. But yeah. Not a whole lot of notes for this one.
Yeah, a nice little quick one.
There's so many stories and articles and just media-based things that you can go look up if you're curious about more Sixth Sense.
Anything specific.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we covered a decent chunk of it.
Yeah.
So,
like, there's not a whole lot. Like, it's...
Again, it's not a technically intense film.
It's mediums. It's psychics. It's that realm of people who are more in touch with.
And we will definitely
the
get
other
further
side.
into some of those things when we do movies in the future.
Yep.
But yeah,
That's why I don't want to give it all away in one.
Hell yeah.
You know?
hell yeah.
Keep them guessing.
But yeah. So next week is the beginning of October, which means it is Halloween time, which means
My birthday month is over.
yes, your birthday month is over. But now it is truly spoopy month. And we are starting and spending the whole month in the Halloween franchise.
Wow, wow, wow.
So our next week video is going to be about Halloween, the first one, the original. So look forward to that. You can send us an email at horrorunmasked@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at horrorunmasked. Remember, rate, comment, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. You can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora, and YouTube at Horror Unmasked Podcast. And I think with that,
There's only one thing left to ask. Will you fear?
or will you fear not?